Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome to another Magic Arena Explorer video. So today we are playing a little bit of Dimir Rogues, and we have a couple of new cards from March of the Machine to showcase in this particular deck, and they are Faerie Mastermind, which is a Faerie Rogue that is a 2/1 with flash and flying for 2, so that's already pretty competitive stats. And it says whenever an opponent draws their second card each turn, you draw a card, and you can pay 3 and a blue for an activated ability of each player draws a card. So if you say do that on their end step, they will draw 1, you will draw 2. If you happen to have 2 Faerie Masterminds on the battlefield, you'll draw 3 instead. So you can get a huge amount of card advantage over your opponent using this card. And if they are running any particular card draw spells, for example, if they've got Teferi on the battlefield or anything else, then you are benefiting as well. So it reads like a very powerful card, but it is also a rogue, so it has some synergies there. And the other new card we are running is the Invasion of Amonkhet, which is a battle which costs 1 blue-black for a 4 defense battle that says when it enters the battlefield, each player mills 3 cards. Then each opponent discards a card and you draw a card. So it's not only a slight resource advantage generator over your opponent, it also helps enable your rogue needing 8 cards in your opponent's graveyard. And it doesn't read hugely powerfully, that front side, but if you remember Disinformation Campaign from, I think it was one of the Ravnica sets, that when you got hit, it didn't seem so bad when they played it, and then you got hit with a couple, and it was just like, my resources. And then the backside of it, which is relatively easy to flip because you've got flyers and difficult to interact with creatures, and it turns into the Laztep Convert, which is a 4/4 that enters the battlefield as a copy of any creature card in a graveyard. So hopefully you've milled some good stuff from either yourself or your opponent, and then you can turn it into a copy of either any of your rogues. So it could be another Faerie Mastermind, could be any of your other creatures, or something powerful that your opponent has in their graveyard. So yes, Invasion of Amonkhet has played surprisingly strongly for what is just an uncommon battle. So we'll see how it does in this particular video. And then the rest of the deck is pretty familiar to those of you who've seen the rogues list before. So we've got the rogues themselves, 4 copies of Thieves Guild Enforcer, which is one of our mill enablers, just a 1/1 with flash. But once the opponent has 8 or more cards in their graveyard, it becomes a 3/2 with Death Touch. So that's very good. We've got 4 copies of Soaring Thought Thief, which is a 1/3 with flash and flying. That gets bigger when the opponent has 8 or more cards in their graveyard, and also mills 2 when it or another rogue attacks. We've got the Faerie Mastermind, as discussed, 2 copies of Brazen Borrower, which is a rogue, as well as being a 3/1 with flash and flying. Can also act as a bounce spell if we need it to, and then 3 copies of Nighthawk Scavenger, which is the flying Death Touch lifelink that has power equal to 1 plus the number of card types in the opponent's graveyard. So again, we are kind of enabling that with our rogue strategy. And then we've got a load of useful spells around it. So 4 copies of Thoughtseize, as you'd expect in a deck that's running black, and 3 copies of Fatal Push, 2 copies of Spell Pierce to deal with problematic non-creature spells the opponent's playing, Planeswalkers, other battles, potentially sweepers. 2 copies of Go for the Throat, and 4 Drown in the Lock. So Drown in the Lock is a great card in this deck that can both act as a counter spell and a removal spell, depending on how many cards the opponent has in their graveyard. And then 3 copies of Kaito Shizuki, which is a Planeswalker which has 3 loyalty for 3 mana. At the beginning of your end step, if it's the turn it enters the battlefield, it phases out, so it's very hard for the opponent to deal with straight away. Has a +1 that says draw a card, then discard a card unless you attack this turn. -2, create a blue ninja 1/1 creature token that can't be blocked. And -7, you get an emblem that says whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, search your library for a blue or black creature card, put it onto the battlefield, then shuffle. So that's a very good Planeswalker in this deck. Creates the unblockable creatures that we need to get through, but also some useful card advantage as well. And then the lands. So this deck runs 22 lands, and I went back and forth a little bit on whether it should play 22 or 23. But because the curve is very low to the ground, there's nothing that costs more than 3. And because there's a relative amount of kind of card draw in the deck, the Invasion of Amonkhets, the Kaitos, the Faerie Masterminds, you generally will draw into the lands you need. So we are running 22, lots of dual lands as you'd expect, and then our usual man lands of Hive of the Eye Tyrant and Hall of Storm Giants, and a couple of utility lands in Otawara, Castle Lochthwain, and Takanuma as well, and then just a couple of basic lands. It's always good to run a few just in case the opponent's running Field of Ruin or something similar. And then in the sideboard, we have our removal package of Ray of Enfeeblement to deal with problematic white cards. So thinking specifically around sort of Greasefang, cards like that. We have to Cling to Dust as kind of remove as a graveyard interaction. Thing is with the reason we're playing Cling to Dust and not some of the other graveyard interaction is that we actually want them to have cards in their graveyard. So being able to just snipe individual cards, problematic cards, is really what you want to be doing in this deck. 2 copies of Aether Gust and Disdainful Stroke, and Mystical Dispute as our kind of additional counterspell package. We have a Weathered Runestone, which deals with annoying cards like Collected Company and things that are playing cards from the graveyard or from the library. And then 2 copies of Siphon Insight, which allows us to steal cards from the top of our opponent's library, potentially more than once with its flashback effect. And then 1 Gonti Lord of Luxury as well, which is also a rogue, and does a similar thing of letting us steal cards from our opponent and then playing them later. So that is the deck. It is Dimir Rogues. It has been pretty good in deck testing, so let's see how it does on the ladder. And yeah, let's go into some games. So turn 1 Enforcer is always good. Can also Thoughtseize if we want to. Spell Pierce. Yeah, this is a decent enough opening hand. Okay, Xander's Lounge from the opponent. So let's play a River, and then we can either Thieves Guild or Spell Pierce, depending on what our opponent does. Okay, so they are running at least 4 colours, maybe all 5. Okay, let's see what they've got going on. Dark Imitations. Each opponent sacrifices, then discard. Okay, this is some interesting stuff. So let's take one of their fables, just to slow them down a bit. Then they'll probably play the other, and we can Spell Pierce it. Yep. So let's play Kaito. Let's attack. And then draw a card. Fatal Push is good. So each opponent, you may return a... Oh, okay, I see. Okay, so let's go for the throat that before we draw. Draw. Play Castle Lochthwain. Play the Soaring Thought Thief. Go to attacks. Okay, so they are playing sort of Grixis good stuff. Each opponent sacrifices and discards a card and draws a card. Okay, so I'll make a 1-1 that I can just sack then if they play that. Ooh. Okay, Gargaroth is a problem. So let's attack for 1. Draw a card. Play Invasion of Amonkhet. Okay, so this can tangle with Gargaroth. Yep. Sure thing. So I'll sack the 1/1, discard Fatal Push. No, I'll discard Mastermind here and keep the push, I think, actually. Yeah, this is sort of 4-color control, 4-color bolus. It's very interesting, whatever it is. I like it. I like it that it's slightly different. Okay, let's trade with their Garg. We will lose Kaito as well, but it is what it is. And now we'll play another Thought Thief. Let's pop that back in their hand. Let's flip Invasion of Amonkhet. Let's have a copy of Gargaroth. Okay, down comes Shieldred. Yeah, sure, they can have our Thoughtseize. Okay, this is going to be a close one, I think. So let's play that on that side. Go to attacks. So we've got them dead on board, or with what we have in hand as well, if they don't have anything. Yeah, so we'll block with Gargaroth. Gain 3 life. Okay, first game to us. So, what are we bringing in here? I think Disdainful Stroke is a good shout. 1A the Gust, maybe. A Mystical Dispute. We didn't see that much blue, I don't think, but presumably they're playing Bolos, Planeswalkers. Yeah. Let's pop in Gonti as well, actually, and maybe Siphon Insight, because they've got a lot of good cards that I want to steal, to be honest. And let's take out 1 Fatal Push. Go for the Throated Great here, but what isn't so good? Drown in the Lock I want to keep. I'll try cutting Kaito. What else are we taking out? Thoughtseize I want. Brazen Borrower is okay. Mastermind? Yeah, let's take Mastermind out. I don't. I'm not that high on letting them draw more cards, even if it is advantageous for us. The power level of their average card is pretty high, so let's focus on stealing them instead of anything else. 1 land is no good here. That's slightly better, so let's pop away Gonti, as it's a bit far away. We'll play Dark Slick Shores. Okay, that's a decent potential turn 2 play. Sure, well, there's nothing I can do about that at the moment, so let's Soaring Thought Thief. So they're probably going to get at least one card out of this, so let's attack. Play Scavenger. Buerns. What's next? Oh, that one's down too. That's not the one. So I think we are gonna have to drown that in the lock now, which is annoying because I'd like to not just do that with our turn, but I think we don't have any other choice. So let's take that down. Hope they play that 5-mana card that we can then Mystical Dispute. No, they're just going to play Shieldred instead. Sure thing. So I can drown that in the lock as well, but not really advancing my board presence, but let's do it. Oh dear, oh dear. And Fable as well. Well, let's Fatal Push that. Play Invasion of Amonkhet. Still no more land. So let's Invasion again. Still no more land. Okay, I think we're getting to the point now where we can't win this game. Yep, just ridiculous lack of land draws there, so we'll go to game 3. Let's take out Dispute. I don't like it here. Pop in our 3rd Invasion of Amonkhet and the other 8th August. Oh, for God's sake. Oh, looks like we're going to 5. Opponents go to 5 as well, so I feel slightly better, but I think we're just keeping that. A game of not many resources, so Just do what we can to deny our opponent resources and desperately hope for a third land. That'll do it. Okay. So we can at least make a start here. Okay, Gust is good. So, what are we doing here? Let's pop that out of existence. No discard, eh? That's not what we want to see. Um. Looks like I'm just passing the turn. Another fable. Huh. Yep. Okay, let's play Brazen Borrower. Let's chip away at the invasion of Amonkhet. Let's Aether Gust. No, I'm going to have to do that on their draw step, I think. So let's Fatal Push their token. Pass the turn. Wait for them to draw. Aether Gust their Chandra. Yep. Sure, Bonecrusher Giant is a card. Hmm. Trouble is, if I play this, it's just going to die to Chandra. Doesn't have flash. Yeah, okay. Just on the off chance. Okay. Well, at least we got rid of an eliminate. Drown in the Lock's okay. So let's hold that up for the moment. Desperately need some draw spells. K's command, sure. So I can counter that. Good, okay. Let's pass the turn. Yeah, there's no way this is surviving. Ah, what a rough couple of games. Yeah. Oh, that was just terrible draws there. That's really disappointing. Oh well, we move on. Yep, I like this as an opening hand. Actual lands. So looks like oh, Obosh, that's fun. So if they don't have a 1-drop, they won't have a 2-drop. So let's play Enforcer. Okay. So let's Thought Seize them. Discard, draw 2. Yep, yep. 3 damage, 2 cards, Fable, if in doubt. So let's Thought Seize them again. Take Liliana here. Just because they would have been able to bring back Atraxa next turn, and I'm not about that. Let's play a Nighthawk Scavenger. Pass the turn. They can Fatal Push it if they so wish. Yep. Yeah, there's a lot of durdling going on, but nothing hugely that I'm worried about, so let's play another Scavenger. And if they want to play Obosh, I'll just kill it. Nope. Pass the turn. Sure thing. So go for the throat that. Play Thought Thief. Attack. Mill. Play Kaito. Draw with Kaito. Ha, okay. Well, we'll just have it 1-1. Pass the turn. Can drown in the lock anything particularly frustrating they might try and play. No, okay, we'll just draw with Lockthwain instead. Well, they've got plenty of removal, and I've got counter spells to keep me going for the rest of my life, so. Yeah, I'll just counter that. Stop them drawing 2 cards. Play Thought Thief. Hive is good. Attack. What does that do again? Cards. Draw. Potentially use that. Get back a scavenger, maybe. Yes, let's. Oh no, they'll just target it with their Rotten Reunion if we do that. Yeah, well, fair enough. Makes them use it, I suppose. Yeah, whatever we pick, they can just... So we'll target Nighthawk. Oh no, they have to do that. I'm sure there was a reason that happened. Someone tell me in the comments. Kaito's card draw has been absolutely invaluable here. A very good Planeswalker, this one. Needs the right shell around it, but... Ooh, no! No, no, no! Okay. So, Rakdos, creativity, reanimator, everything. So, Aether Gust, Disdainful Stroke, non-land permanents, Weathered Runestone, Cling to Dust. So 7 cards in. What's coming out? Go for the Throat can do with an Atraxa if they do get one on the battlefield, so I'll keep that in. Thoughtseize, it's okay. Invasion of Amonkhet. I might take that out here, actually. Letting them just discard cards doesn't feel so good. And similarly with Faerie Mastermind, I don't want them having more resources. So yes, I'm trimming all of the new cards. Yeah, this is a decent hand. Got Spell Pierce, got Push. Okay. Not in any hurry to pull the trigger on Cling to Dust. Let's pop a Thought Thief into play. Attack. Get those mills going. Pass the turn. Another Spell Pierce is good here, actually. I'm glad. Do I just Spell Pierce that? Yes. Stops them getting a Power Stone as well. Okay, so we're applying a lot of pressure now with our 3/3s. Brotherhood's End's a good card. Sure. Let's just play Borrower as a 3-1, keep the pressure up. Okay, like go for the throat. Okay, they're down to 8. If they don't do anything particularly threatening next turn, I might cling to dust something just to draw a card. Maybe this. No, fair enough. Have a 2/2 zombie. That I'm not so fussed about, because if they try and creativity it, I'll just kill it. I don't have anything particularly interesting to get rid of, so sure. But I will keep my cling now, just because don't really want them doing anything with that. So let's attack them down to 5, play Scavenger, pass the turn, so we are lethal on board. So they can creativity for 2, but it will cost them all their mana, and I'm just going to kill Atraxa if they do that. So it is, as Nick Button would say, a plan with no drawbacks. But I assume they're just holding up Fatal Push here. Okay. Interesting. They must still have a Fatal Push, so let's cling to dust their Atraxa. Yep. Thoughtseize. Ah, no. Okay, so I think we're just going to have to attack them to 2 here. Now that, having the... well, that'll learn me. There you are. I think, oh, I'll do something to make sure they can't bring back any Atraxas. Okay, let's go to game 3 here and pretend that never happened. Are we doing anything differently on the play? No, I don't think so. I did actually like our spot there right up until the point when I just gave them the victory because they happen to have 2 Atraxas in their hand. Yep. So I'm going to get Thought Seized here. No, just Duress. That's better because I want to keep the Thought Thief at all costs. Okay. Okay, sure. And I'm just going to draw land, am I? Okay. They at least don't seem to have any land, so... No. And breathe. Right, let's cling to dust. Their fable. Oh, I see. Alright, let's cling to dust again. Let's do our own graveyard this time. Mm. I'm really not okay at the moment. Oh, for God's sake. Okay, let's just activate Hall. They've probably got a Fatal Push. But they can't use it until they've got 4 land. So yes, I won't try and use it again now. I will just pass the turn. It's castle. Well, I may as well play a creature. I'm not expecting it to survive very long, but... Okay. So let's... return... Well, let's wait for them to activate that ability, and then... Cling. Get rid of all our cards. Okay, that was a very silly game 3, but at least we got the victory. Okay, let's hope for one normal match with a sensible mix between land and spells. Well, I asked for that. Okay, we will keep this hand. Okay, blue-white, possibly control. Let's take a peek. Yep. So let's take absorb here, I think. Just play a slightly longer game. Just let them draw go until we can spell pierce their memory deluge at some point. Okay, I quite like Faerie Mastermind to play on end step. Sure thing. So let's do that. No, let's play Invasion of Amonkhet. Yep. Draw a counter spell out of their hand. Yeah, okay. If you insist. Let's play Scavenger. And we'll spell pierce that. Okay, that's pretty aggressive, but sure. Fair, it might work for them if I just keep drawing lands, so. Which apparently I'm going to do, and I can't drown that in the lock, so. They're going to get to Memory Deluge. Look at the counter targets, though. Oh no, because the mana value is still only 4. Good. Yes, it has a flashback cost, but its mana value is still only 4. Oh, hard cast Shark Typhoon, that's fun. I'm very tired. I'm very tired of all of this. Okay, let's try and play another Scavenger. Well, they're going to have a 5/5, but they're not having Teferi. That card is useless now, but. Sure. I'm willing to play the lifelink game. Yeah, sure. Okay, game 2. So we'll pop in Mystical Dispute, Disdainful Stroke. Siphon Insight, I think, is quite good here. And we will take out Fatal Push, go for the Throat. Maybe we'll keep it 1 push, actually, just for sharks. We'll take out Mastermind. This is going to be about resource denial, not giving them extra cards. I think it's very high variance, Mastermind. It's going to be great in some matchups and terrible in others. Okay. Mill. Okay, I'd like to see those go away. Spell Pierce is a good draw. So we're going to be able to stop them doing things for a while, but it would be nice to also have more creatures. Okay, Drown in the Loch is another good card, but sadly I don't think I can just hit them for 1 for 20 turns. I'll Spell Pierce that. At some point they'll get to 8 cards in their graveyard. Okay, Kaito's a decent one, but not playing it into 2 open mana when I don't have additional land, so pass the turn. All of Storm Giants. Go again. Let's say no. Am I willing to fight over this? They're definitely going to play to Faerie if I don't, so if I do rather. So yeah, fair enough. You can have that. And I will be prepared to mystical dispute your Teferi. No, okay. In which case I will Thoughtseize you instead. Oh, that's a fun hand. Let's take the Wandering Emperor here. And pass the turn. Yep. I'll Fatal Push that. Draw. That's a very weird... Okay, I suppose that kind of makes sense. Yep. Hope for the best. No counterspell one time? Okay, they've got a counterspell. Of course they do. Okay, let's play... Am I just brazen borrowing their Teferi? Yeah. Then I can potentially Disdainful Stroke it next turn, providing they don't draw another counterspell. Nope. Okay, Disdainful Stroke. Okay, Dark Slick Shores into Kaito. Into -2. Okay, let's attack. Draw. Thoughtseize. Okay, that's good. Scavenger. Oh, go away. Okay, pass the turn. Brazen Borrower. Attack. Draw. Land. Okay, they've got a million cards in their graveyard, so that's fine. Thought Thief. Yep. 5. Attack. Draw. Invasion of Amonkhet. Ooh, settle the wreckage. Good-o. Yeah, I think it's worth spending the resources to do this. Nope. Okay. Successfully annoyed them into giving up. So on the draw, am I doing anything differently? I don't think so. I quite like this configuration. It's just much harder. So I'm really going to have words with the shuffler, to be honest. Let's pop back Fatal Push. Okay, so assuming... Is this a Spell Pierce or is it Mystical Dispute? You know what? Let's find out. No, it's just a sensor. Okay, let's take... I'm just taking Hullbreaker Horror here. Yeah, because then I might potentially be able to turn Invasion of Amonkhet into a Hullbreaker Horror. And I like that as a concept. So let's play that there. Pass the turn. I'm willing to let this get make disappeared. Okay, just censor, sure. So they still have another counterspell. I'm really going to need some land, I'm afraid. Okay, apparently I'm not going to need any land. Thanks very much. Spell pierce that. Well, it's a land of sorts. I'm doing what I can here, but it's not easy. Okay, I'll let this eat a counterspell. Grab that swamp. Okay, fair enough. Lack of land's going to kill me in this game, unfortunately. Let's play a Nighthawk. Nope. Let's play another Nighthawk. I just can't let them memory deluge for 7. But I'm just going to get killed by Wandering Emperor tokens here, so... Okay, let's drown in the lock one of their creatures. Drown in the lock that. I'm still super close to dead, but... Oh yeah, now they've got Hall of Storm Giants as well. So, Thieves Guild... Yeah, I'm super dead, but let's just give them the opportunity to make a mistake. Yep. That's frustrating. Okay, I think we were hampered in a lot of those games by just poor draws, which is frustrating. I think the deck is better than it played there. Um, but it is what it is. That's just what happens sometimes. So yeah, we'll take one last look at the deck list. Probably needs a little bit of refining, but there's some good stuff in there. We'll see how others try and build around this kind of shell. I think Invasion of Amonkhet is a good card to include. Faerie Mastermind did okay. Maybe it's not all that. Yeah, decent. Not bad. Unlucky draws. But that's how it is. Hit those like and subscribe buttons, and I will see you next time. Thank you.